Stadium is rocking because next up on court is the men's singles final. Viktor AXELSEN becomes only the third different player from Denmark to reach the final here at the Indonesian Open. And this is the 37th edition of the tournament. He's up against a man very much in form, the left-handed Kento MOMOTA, who was beaten in last week's final in Kuala Lumpur. Well, as far as the men's singles draw is concerned, we only had 4 seeds left by quarter-final stage, only one in the bottom half. And that was last week's winner, Lee Chong-wei. Lee Chong-wei, who's won this title 6 times yesterday in his semi-final against Kento MOMOTA. In all honesty, just didn't have any fuel left in the tank. In the top half of the draw, Viktor AXELSEN came through in 3 games against Shi Yu-chi, and it was lovely to see for a 3rd consecutive HSBC World Tour event. The 4 semi-finalists in the men's singles all came from 4 different nations.
Ladies and gentlemen, men's single final, match number 21. From Denmark, highest ranked #1, world ranking #1, here it is. World rank #1, from Denmark, Viktor AXELSEN!
The tall Dane, Viktor AXELSEN, the world champion, the world #1, appearing in his 3rd final of the year. And for this year, 2018, he's undefeated in finals. He won both of his previous finals, the European Championships and the Malaysia Masters at the beginning of the year. But since then, he's had ankle surgery, and it is wonderful to see him back at the very top of his game.
And the opener from Japan, highest ranked #8, world ranked #8, here it is. World rank #8 from Japan, Momota Kento!
Kento MOMOTA, the former world #2, former champion here at the Indonesia Open, winning the title 3 years ago when he beats another Dane in the final, Jan Jorgensen. Well, since his suspension, MOMOTA, for visiting an illegal casino in his home country, since his return to play, this is now his 10th final in just 12 tournaments played. It's his 4th final in 4 tournaments played. When I said he was in form, I wasn't understating. So this is the 9th meeting between the 2 players, and that's an ominous statistic for all Danish fans. Viktor AXELSEN only won on 1 occasion from the previous 8, and that was 4 years ago, over 4 years ago. Kento MOMOTA has won the last 6 occasions, including the semi-final of the Thomas Cup in Bangkok. 21-17, 21-9 it was in the Thai capital in 40 minutes. But this is also the 3rd time they're meeting in a final. The first time they met in the final was the Super Series finals of 2015. They then met in the final of the India Super Series in 2016. And obviously MOMOTA won both previous meetings in finals, and it was very shortly after that final in India in 2016 that MOMOTA left the World Tour enforced to leave the World Tour. But here is Viktor AXELSEN, 24 years of age, making his 7th appearance here at the Indonesia Open. And prior to this year, he had only had 1 second-round appearance. That was in 2014, and 5 first-round losses. So this, a huge improvement in Istora Stadium. Well, as far as his matches so far in the tournament, it's the only time he's been taken the full distance was in the semi-final against the All-England champion, Shi Wu-Chi. Came from a game down to then win 21-14, 21-11 in 52 minutes. A mention ought to be made of Sugiyama, who had been promoted from the reserves and played against AXELSEN in the quarter-final stage. Kento Momota, the left-hander, is 23 years of age. Up 3 places in the world ranking this week to number 8. But he was world number 2 for 1 week from the 7th of April 2016. Making his 4th appearance here at the Indonesia Open. And in 4 appearances, this is his 2nd final. That's a pretty good statistic, isn't it? Well, he needed 3 games in the first round against the defending champion, Kidambi Srikanth. He then beat the winner of the Indonesian Masters, Anthony Ginting. Tommy Sugiarto, the World Championship bronze medalist from 2014, and in the semi-final, the 6-time former champion, Lee Chong-wei. He'd been 5-12 down in that first game against Lee Chong-wei before winning it 23-21. So Eddie Rofianto of Indonesia, our umpire, and Wahyana, also from Indonesia, our service judge. We'll see in the form book, not only the head-to-head, but the form book very much suggests Momota is on a bit of a roll. 4th consecutive final in tournaments played.
Yeah, very impressive in Thomas Cup as well, where he won quite easy against Viktor AXELSEN in straight games. I can only see one thing that is sort of to the advantage of the Dane in this match here, and that's the strappings on the legs of Kento Momota. He's had a tough schedule these last 2 weeks, and he's also had a really tough draw here, as you said, beaten really strong players, whereas Viktor AXELSEN has had a bit of an easier road to this
Ladies and
final.
gentlemen, on my right, Kento Momota, Japan. And on my left, Viktor AXELSEN, Denmark. Kento Momota to serve. Level. Play.
So the men's singles final, Kento Momota, a left-hander from Japan against the world champion, Viktor AXELSEN. That wide. Well, Steve, I know that you weren't here for Momota's semi-final last night. I can tell you that he had the same amount of strapping on his legs, but as I said in my introduction there, I thought Lee Chong-wei just ran out of steam in yesterday's semi-final. But the big question mark, I agree with you, is the fact that Momota has had such a busy 2 weeks, played so many matches. Will that eventually now take its toll?
And it looked like the first match of the tournament against Srikanth Kidambi, even though he won it, he started out in a little bit of a slower fashion, playing more rallies. But then again, I think easy match against Tommy Sugiarto, who unfortunately injured his ankle the day before that match. So that was probably just what Momota needed to get back to it. And I mean, when you're in the final, you always forget a little bit about the things that normally hurt.
obviously, for the Dane,
love.
having lost 7 of their previous 8 meetings, the psychology of this is interesting. Does he really believe deep down that he can win?
He's got to come up with something else than the previous encounters. Otherwise, it's going to be the same result. Mentioned it at the Thomas Uber Cup. Kento Momota's got excellent defense that sort of takes Viktor AXELSEN 2 extra shots compared to what he's comfortable with. He can attack himself. His attack is really good compared to AXELSEN's normally good defense. And he's got a great net game and excellent touch in this game. So he's the hot favorite to win this match. AXELSEN has got to play his very, very best if he is to challenge Momota, in my opinion. But let's see, he might have gotten some self-confidence from reaching the final here, which is, as you mentioned, Jill, the best ever result for him in these conditions here in Jakarta that he's struggled so much with.
Service over. 1-5.
From a Danish perspective, I'm worried if he starts out attacking all out too early in the rallies. Should have learned that by now, that is not the way to beat Momota.
Service over. 6-1.
Since his return from suspension, Momota was in his 10th final in 12 tournaments. And since his return from suspension, he's got a win-loss record of 72-4.
And one of them is to either Nishimoto or Tsuneyama. At the Canadian Open. That was the first one is for Lee Chung-wei.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Good rally. Very impressive start here for Momota.
Yeah, and this rally was actually quite good for Viktor AXELSEN, but I mean, a drop shot miss like that sort of destroys it.
Afraid that the umpire hadn't seen that Momota was jumping up and down saying challenge, challenge, and that's why he challenged, because there was blood on the line.
Correction in.
And now is a tough situation for AXELSEN because now it's déjà vu. It started out as all the other times, except for the one he won in Europe. Never beaten Momota. Of course, obvious that he hasn't beaten Momota in Asia, since he's only beaten him once, and that was in Europe.
10-1.
Game interval. Oh my goodness me.
It's not really nice being the world champion and being down 1-11 in the first game.
No, and that means that Kento Momota, Danish coach, has got an awful lot of work to do.
He's got an awful lot of work to do. But it's quite consistent with what I saw yesterday, because the match that Viktor AXELSEN won against Chi was a good win, but it was not a really good match. There was a lot of errors in the match, and that's definitely not something you can allow yourself to do when you play Kento Momota. It was just Chi made more errors than AXELSEN actually.
What a defensive shot.
This woman in the first row that's using flashlight, unfortunately.
Yeah, very distracting for Momota. So we didn't obviously get to hear what Kento Momota was saying. What would you have advised though, Steen?
Well, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because I think there's some skills that needs to be bettered. But definitely patience. Cannot open too early in the rallies. If he opens too early, Viktor AXELSEN, he will get punched in the nose. It's a tough task. It really is a tough task. I think there's skills that needs to be better before he can challenge Momota.
Which skills? What he's referring to specifically?
His net game, his defense, and his general shot quality in the sort of in-between play that's not necessarily defense or attack. Like we've seen Chen Long do it when he won the World Championships and when he won the Olympics. You've got to have extreme accuracy in all your shots.
Yes.
So it's accuracy rather than the disguise or the technique, or...
No, it also needs to be disguised, but accuracy is really important, because if you give a little extra time to Momota, he will come in and put you under pressure with his natural disguises.
Yeah, yeah. Pushed it long.
There's some things in the service situation. Serves need to be better, but that's not the main object here. The service returns need to be better. So there's a lot of things that he needs to do better in big practice. But let's see if he can learn on the fly.
Service over. 4-13.
Yeah, that was a lovely net shot.
That's a close one.
Yeah.
5-13.
Well, it was possibly worth a challenge. Let's have a look at it. Oof. Yeah, I think that was worth a challenge. Considering his first challenge, he was correct, so he still has 2 challenges left.
Six, 17. Play.
That's lovely skills, because there was a little slice on that to keep it straight. Oh, what a return.
Well, that's a good service return.
Service over. 7-14.
This is much better now from AXELSEN.
Yeah. It is. That's well played. He said in a Danish interview that he was cherishing the match practice he got here in these tournaments. He was reluctant to go because he'd been ill, and ahead of that he hasn't really had that much match practice on this level. So that's also something that we have to take into account.
Yeah.
Also that Janno Jorgensen has been injured for almost a year. Anders Antonsen has been up and down, has had some trouble with migraine. Vittinghus has been up and down in form and so on. So there hasn't really been great match practice opportunities back in Denmark, in my opinion.
Well, all of a sudden, this is believable again.
Yeah.
Oh, just wide.
Challenge. You cannot look at your coach,
AXELSEN,
in my opinion.
Out.
That little look at Kenneth Jonassen should have avoided the challenge.
Oh, the line judge was correct.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 15-9. Play.
Missed it.
Service over. 10-15.
So if you can play the longer rallies, AXELSEN, then there's a chance that we'll see if Momota's stamina is good enough.
Well, this is looking awfully reminiscent, but in a sort of mirror image for Momota to yesterday's semi-final, where he was 5-12 down, and then Lee Chong-wei just ran out of steam. That's a good shot. This is a very important rally.
to that smash. Changed his legs, but didn't get any height on his jump.
Trying to make himself getting Jonasson.
This is a very, very important situation. If Momota gets the first game, he can definitely see the goal line. If he loses, there's a long way home. Well played. Good shot.
Yeah, he stood his ground, Momota. Ready to pounce on a net shot return. Look at him.
That's a fantastic net shot from the wide service line. Great touch. But are there any changes of pace left in Momota? That's the question. If there isn't, the next question is, can Viktor AXELSEN exploit it? Wow, missed shot. That becomes good.
Completely missed my backhand in the middle of that rally from AXELSEN. Right, it turned into a very good shot.
17-16.
I still think AXELSEN is doing most of the running, but if he's got more left in the tank than Momota, it might still be enough.
Yeah.
Well played.
It's going to go wide.
Service over.
Yeah,
17,
the early attacking
17.
play that we saw from
Yes,
Momota is no longer evident.
Wonderful. Thank you. Play.
Well, right on cue, plays an attacking rally,
18,
Momota.
13.
That's a lovely shot, isn't it?
He's got to be very careful with his service return, AXELSEN, because very often Momota walks straight to it.
Nineteen, 13.
Well, that's just a gift from the Dane. Error on the return of serve. the line.
Service over. 14-19.
Game point opportunities.
So it's over. 20, game point 14.
Opening game. 21-14 in 23 minutes.
By Kento MOMOTA, 21-14.
Well, it was the perfect start, really, for Momota when he raced to that 11-1 lead at the mid-game interval. And in all honesty, it was just too much of a gap for this man to close down. Back of the net, back of the neck.
Seconds, 20 seconds.
Well, it will be easier for Momota from that far side of the court to play to the back of Axelsen's court. Contrast, I think Axelsen's going to have to do more attacking play or be very careful with his lifts and pushes.
He's going to be very careful. The interesting thing is that it was a little bit of a longer first game than perhaps Momota would like. So has it opened up for attacks from Axelsen, or can Momota play counter-attacking, so to speak? If not, then he has to attack himself, and then we'll see. Starts out well. Japanese player looks to try to sort of increase the pace here and sort of try the same shock start as in the first game. And Momota is totally overcovering the front court and sort of taunting Axelsen or teasing him to play the back court. If you can hit it, that's okay. If you can't, I'm here on the front court to drive you around your part of the court.
Oh. Well, he was ready to pounce, but the net shot from Axelsen was simply too good.
1-3.
That's very, very good for Axelsen.
going to be really important for Axelsen to get opportunities like this and have variation on his shots. That was something that Lee Chong-wei did so great in the final in Malaysia last week.
Service over. 4-2.
Well, it's interesting, Steen. This is the 4th time in 5 years that a Japanese player has been in the men's singles final here.
Yeah, it was Sakai last year.
Yep, and of course Momota when he won it 15, and Kenichi Tago lost to Jorgensen in 2014.
Tago, that's right.
Yeah.
The gambler.
Service over. 3-4.
Challenge.
Saw it as wide.
Axelsen challenges call out.
I say, yeah. Hawkeye agrees with the line judge.
Challenge successful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 5-3. Black.
The moment Axelsen shows that it's a forehand return on the short service, Momota commits to his backhand side. Yeah.
Just in the left court or from both courts?
Basically from the left hand side. On the uneven point side.
Yeah.
But also it's very much easier reading a forehand return from this side that they're standing in now. Much easier. Yeah, it's easier to put a deception on it. That's well played.
What a rally.
It's important for Axelsen to realize that here he's playing a player that is better than all the other players on the tour, all the players that were there when he won his World Championship. Kento Momota is better than them. So he's got to be more careful. It's like playing Chen Long at the Olympics. Much more quality in his shots. What tricked me to say that was that attempted kill in the previous rally that Momota saved. It's again going for the win too early and you end up losing the rally in 2 or 3 shots. And if we think back of some of the great matches with Lin Dan and Lee Chong-wei, there were some long rallies where both players tried attacking, realized that it wasn't going to work, started over again, and now it's just a lot of errors as we see it here.
Yeah, it's a very commanding position now for Momota. Yeah, good shot.
Service over. 4-10.
The advantage.
11-4.
And Momota looking superb at the moment. Has he got enough stamina after all his matches over the last 2 weeks to keep this going? Or will the accumulation of tiredness give a little glimmer of hope to the world champion?
No, he won't get tired now.
No.
10 more points and he's the Indonesian Open champion for the second time.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
There's some positives to take away from the tournament for Axelsen, but there's a puzzle to solve in terms of playing Kento Momota.
Black. Service fault call, too high.
Service fault called.
Service over. 5,
First of the
11.
match.
Axelsen was replying to the service judge earlier in this game. I think it was the first service that was a flick serve where Axelsen was suggesting that it might have been too high.
Oh, the initial behind the back from Axelsen. Behind the back backhand.
Service over. 12-5.
Unbelievable. But it is desperation. It's a desperation shot.
Yeah.
That's long as well. And Momota is racing away with this now.
Kenneth Johnson knows as well he's resigned in his chair. More or less.
Service over. 6-13. Service over.
Lifting 4 shots in a row long like that's simply just not good enough. You can do it if it's in a rally, but if you have all the time in the world, you have to be able to take the drift into account.
Six. Service over.
That's one of the rare occasions, I don't remember any other occasions where Axelsen actually took it off the top of the tape.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Mistakes like that simply isn't good enough.
16-7.
It was a stronger half, the one that Kento Momota was drawn to, and he showed it here in the final.
17-7.
10-point advantage now. Yes, another error. 3 points away from his third title this year, Momota.
Service over. 8-18.
big mental part in it as well to repair for the Danish coaches.
Missed it. Exchange in the early stages of that rally. I think there was a mental issue to address even before this final started, Steve.
Yeah, I think so too.
Going wide, it's match point opportunity.
Service over. 20 match point 9.
First time lasting. 21-14, 21-9. 38 minutes. And Kento Momota wins his second Indonesia Open title to add to the one he won 3 years ago. Beaten in the final in Malaysia a week ago. Champion here in Jakarta a week on. Their confirmation of the score, 21-14, 21-9 in 38 minutes of play.
All right. So once again, congratulations for Mr. Kento. Okay, did you have any special preparations for today's match?
優勝おめでとうございます。今日の試合で特別な準備とかありましたか？
そうですね。もう決勝戦になると、お互い、フィジカル的にもきついと思うので、気持ちで負けないように、プレーしようと思ってました。
Dia bilang katanya karena ini final pasti banyak banget apa yang susah gitu untuk dia, tapi dia bilang dia senang gitu bisa menang di pertandingan kali ini.
Okay, so because this is the final round, so lots of things that he's been prepared, but he's really happy because of today's match, and he won the game today. So thank you very much once again. おめでとうございます。
That the winning moment for Kento Momota. So to the prize presentation.
Viktor AXELSEN, Denmark. Momota, Kento, Japan.
Well, very nice that Viktor AXELSEN applauds his opponent stepping on to the podium. So our dignitaries step forward to make the presentation. Viktor AXELSEN, his first loss in a final this year. This is his biggest final this year. Super 1000 event, and for Kento MOMOTA, it's a third title to add to the Asian Championships and the Vietnam International Challenger. And that in itself is astonishing, because he had to play the lower grade of tournaments, lower tier, the International Challenger events, to get his ranking high enough to be allowed into these World Tour events.
As the chairman of organizing committee, Indonesia Open 2018, to give the handbooking.
So his first World Tour title for Kento MOMOTA.
To all the media, please capture the moment.
So as they pose for the photographers, we can remind you that coming up next, it's a repeat of the Olympic final. It's mixed doubles. It's the defending champions Tantowi Ahmad and Liliana Nasir up against Champeng Soon and Go Liu Ying.